under an immense amount of challenges lately. And the result is like I am incredibly stressed. Like I have been so stressed that I've actually been getting migraines. And those are awful. I like anybody who's had them, my heart goes out to you because they completely unwoman you. And I'd have one, and then like for an entire week I would remain light sensitive and kind of dizzy, and that's for me it was all stress related, and that just like blew my mind and forced me to get really, really, really curious about why when something is challenging it ends up causing me stress, because I was wondering if that has to be the case. And so like just to let you guys know, like some of the stuff that's happening, like I have loved ones that are ill, which is like kind of like a negative stressor. I've got a positive stressor, and then I'm launching this incredible new business. Another negative stressor is one of our cars like died, right? And like I don't really have the funds right now to fix that or replace it. And on top of it, I'm low on funds, which is always like money I find to be super, 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 super stressful. So yeah, but I was like, okay, so I've got all these challenges. Why are they causing me stress? Like, why am I having a fear reaction to these things? Instead of just going, okay, this is reality, and moving forward with confidence. And so I think maybe part of it, and I would love to know what you guys think, but like I think part of our stress reaction, like I don't like it, just might be there's gonna be some sort of innate physical reaction that like releases your adrenaline and gets you going. Maybe not. Like maybe it's all our reaction to challenge becomes stressful simply because of what we're telling ourselves about it. Like that could totally be true. And I really don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what the truth is. But I did kind of uncover something about myself that I thought was really interesting and really counterintuitive. And I was super curious if any of you guys can relate or if any of you guys have this experience. So when I'm faced with like life challenges, and like they always seem to at least come in threes. It's never just like one terrible thing happening. It's always more. And right now I've got like 5. So when that happens, I experience a huge stress reaction and I get migraines and all kinds of stuff like I was saying. So, but here's the thing. I'm wondering if I'm subconsciously choosing fear as my reaction and like telling myself whatever thoughts I have to tell myself that like make sense of it, that generate the fear, because fear gives me a sense of control. This thought like blows my mind because I think of fear usually as like a victim stance. But I was like, oh no, like I think I react with fear because if I have something to be afraid of, that means I have something I can defeat. Like there is a monster that I can fight. And that gives me, hi Tiki Maher, and that gives me a sense of control. What? That's crazy. Yeah, oh Tiki Maher, I am so glad like you said that because you're right. Like our brains are meaning making machines, right? So a challenging event happens, we're gonna make meaning up about it. So depending on what we tell ourselves, that's going to create our emotions. So I'm telling myself all these thoughts that lead to fear because fear gives me that sense of control and I can feel somewhat like I can manage the overwhelm in my life. But that for me, like, isn't a healthy reaction. It's not actually very helpful. Like it seems super helpful, like it's giving me this control, but in reality it's robbing me of my health. And like heightened levels of cortisol and all that kind of stuff is really not good for us over the long term. So I was just like, man, like what's the alternative? And like, because here's the thing, like, even though I have a feeling of control, there are so many stress-inducing events in life that's a false sense of control, right? We actually don't have much control over the illnesses of our loved ones or the things that our loved ones do to themselves, right? There's so much we don't have direct control over, like the weather or politics or economics, like all of that, right? We can't control other people. We can only control ourselves. So fear gives me this false sense of control, which is why it doesn't ultimately serve me. So what I came to, and I would love to know what you guys think, because I would love you, like, just tell me, like, if you think, because this is just all from my own head, so it could be total bullcrap, and I would love to hear if you think it is. But here's the thing. And I was able to do this for like a heartbeat. When I realized I was choosing fear for the feeling of control, I let it go. And I said, okay, I can't actually control a lot of this stuff. So what does that mean? And I was able for a moment to face the uncomfortable feelings that I was letting my fear mask, or that I was tucking away in order to feel like I was in control. So, you know, the illnesses of my loved ones makes me feel really vulnerable, really sad. And so I was like, oh, I'm just going to be afraid. I'm going to like fight this and not have to deal with those sad emotions. So I was able to face them, let them in, feel really sad. And when I did that, I had this like beautiful moment where, like, one, I didn't die, right? My heart didn't like break into 1,000 pieces. It was just bleeding. But there was this like immense sense of confidence and strength that came from staying in the emotions, because I saw that the only way around emotions is to go through them. To actually sit with them and go through them. And, you know, luckily I was in a safe environment, you know, able to do that in a safe way, because, you know, we don't, like, I'm gonna totally get way off track if I go into this, but, like, it's not, like, it is, I acknowledge that it is not always safe for us to just have at our emotions. We have to choose the timing, we have to choose the people, we have to choose the location carefully, right? So I had all of those things in my favor. I could get alone by myself, be private, and just trust myself that I could handle the sadness. And I did. And what happened is I got more resilient and I felt empowered by it. So instead of this like fear, stress reaction giving me a false sense of control, by going through the heart of my emotions, which was loss and sadness, and insecurity, I was able to gain a real strength and a real sense of confidence about the events that were happening in my life. Not control, not any sort of outside control, but inner control. And that was so cool. That was so